It would be really weird, right? The mid Beastmaster.
No, I wouldn't like to see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ake is definitely going to be playing the Visage. That means
Loda may be their first target, who's running out real quick with boots first on this gyrocopter.
this is a 4-man or a 5-man smoke too. This is so dangerous right now for
I
Loda.
can't believe Loda's actually being this far. Snowball's going to be able to grab a couple. They get on top of him. Light Strike Array does land, and that'll be the kill. First blood goes to Lina.
Man, that's going to hurt because he's going to probably get the bounty rune at the same time. Like S4 near mid hero and the bounty rune impacts so much.
Yeah,
I can't stress this enough.
Going to be a tough fight. They're still going to try and force it here. Nuts on the front lines here. Gyrocopter comes in for the side. Light Strike Array does land, but the blink in from S4. They're going to be able to quickly surround the Lina and get that kill. Luffy Chill's trying to go for Nuts here. Needs a couple more right clicks, but body blocked by Ake to ensure he does live. Double kill, and the Lina is actually the one who picks up the bounty rune.
As a player, he's one of those that is diligent. Like, he does his homework, he does his research, he figures out what he needs to do at all times. So this mid lane
off. At the speed of line, he's trying to go for S4. He doesn't have any more mana, though, and they will actually just leave Nuts to be able to finish off the Lina. The Disruptor comes in, trying to help out as well, but doesn't really have the power to do so. Meanwhile, in the top lane, what happened there? Beastmaster managed to get a kill onto Ake, and he's actually still very healthy on the Beastmaster.
even if the pace of the game is really slowed down, there are things that you have to do, like stack up the jungle, stack up the Ancients, and you notice there's a huge wave over here in the large camp. They've got the Ancient stack to work with.
Well, Admiral Bulldog, he's baiting this one out beautifully. Sonic Wave, quick double kill for S4, and now he moves on to Ascendancy. Who's forced to doppelgang over to the side. Do they have the
he's got the
ensnare?
totem!
Oh, he got the totem in time. No TP away for Ascendancy. He turns to go for Admiral Bulldog, but he knows his life is sacrificed. 2-6 now as Alliance pick up a big 3 kills in that bottom lane.
And that's so huge because CS, he's got the treads, one part of his Necronomicon, which I assume that belts a giant strength is for, and at the bottom, fairly big rotation.
He blinked in aggressively, and they're not actually going to try and...
Oh,
Oh, nice glimpse! That's a beautiful one. Snowball will now catch S4 with the lance on top. S4 throws out the Sonic Wave, but he misses entirely. Luffy will just barely survive. And S4, very critical error there. Getting just way too aggressively on the Phantom Lancer and not expecting those support rotations to be able to catch it.
At the top of the scoreboard now, despite her still being 1-2-0, and he's actually going to get a free kill on Nuts right now too.
Yep, they're forced. Oh, okay, that was a bit of miscommunication there. Double ultimates definitely not needed for killing that Naga Siren, but I suppose both of them do have a relatively low.
I mean, Abraxas is getting a lot out of this map right now. Like, these small individual pickoffs are meaning quite a bit.
Oh, Bulldog, he's going to be able to hit the Fisher. The Light Strike Array still goes out, though, and that's actually going to stop a large amount of damage.
Oh, those
Now,
bird
Bulldog,
stuns.
they managed to stun up the Lina and will be able to burst him down. S4 gets out, and Ascendancy, Doppelgangers away to the left-hand side, will be able to get the nuke on S4, which should be enough. No, he actually gets away ahead of the tower hit. Oh, never mind, actually, the Disruptor Lightning Storm still manages to finish him off. 2-for-2 exchange, but Alliance are well control of this Tier 1 tower. Should be able to get it. In the meantime, Pone is doing something similar here on the top, so the Necronomicon change that inadvertently affects him. Nuts, well, he's going to be caught out here. Light Strike Array, and the Magic Burst damage is easily enough. But going back to it, the Necronomicon, right, being buffed up so tremendously for level 1 makes this Beastmaster, like, just getting that Necro Book 1 pays off immediately, whereas before, as well as a glimpse, well-placed kinetic field blocking out S4 just a little bit, and Zenigata will maybe not escape. S4 comes forward, doesn't have the mana just yet. Nice silence. Zenigata, though, still going to be hit by that Fisher, and S4 jumps in to be able to finish him off. Roundabout, Loda trying to chase down Ascendancy. Doppelganger to the right-hand side. Can he TP out? It's only just now coming up. Where's the Disables? Do they have it in time? Oh, man, that ensnare catches them at just the last half second as the TP animation was about to finish. At the same time, though, Alliance are committing pretty heavily to that bottom lane. Pone is already set in a great position to be able to force out a TP, and Lina, who was, I believe, invisible at the time, able to take quick advantage of that one, blowing up Ake's Visage. Oh, the sleep. They're just ahead of it. Pone's going to be caught, though. Can't quite stay ahead of it, and Pone will be bursted down here by Loda. Tries to eat his way through the trees and buys himself a little bit of time, but in the end, the 5-man Alliance still strikes.
That's still, I think, an okay trade for them. Like, if the Phantom Lancer was able to get out of that bottom lane, I actually think Abraxas would have been really... They're just hitting really good timings right now where there's not a whole lot that they can do to respond to it. And
nice save from MyNuts.
oh,
He simultaneously saves Ake and makes sure that the Lina will get picked off right in front of the Roshan pit. So as you said, Alliance are going to take this opportunity to do an early Roshan. Abraxas now have to make the decision. Do they go for the split push or do they go for the contest? Looks like with the Beastmaster, well, I thought he was pushing forward to go for that tier 2. But he starts rotating to try and contest Roche. Decides against it, he's going to go back to mid. So they're just going to try and take 2 different tier 2s.
With the Yule Scepter, 21 minutes. It's a pretty fat amount of farming.
Oh, Pone. He came forward, but immediately gets punished. He thought he was going to be able to get a quick kill on S4, but Admiral Bulldog was babysitting his mid at that time. S4 blinks the wrong direction. That pesky nighttime vision causing him some issues. He's actually going to blink forward now and puts the Orchid onto Lina while still trying to continue to go for the toss. The Fissure does not block him out, but still S4 is going to continue to go for the toss. Tries to TP out, but the Ensnare is there to stop it. Still, it is a smoke for just a 4-position Tusk who already kind of had his item on the side of Alliance. Maybe not. Bulldogs might still find Pony. Does, right in the trees. We'll be able to lock him down with the extra help with the ultimate. Pone probably regrets not just running back with the Lina.
And their lead isn't that big. It's only 4K for both sides on both experience and net worth right now.
Smoke up is going to find Loda. He does not have his BKB. They could conceivably kill him twice here. Admiral Bulldog, though, sitting on the side. He's ready to go with that Echo Slam, but a nice Ice Shards actually spots him out. Loda still managed to get away, and now the turnaround here. They glimpse back Loda, but his Aegis expires, and he'll actually heal up to full. Throws down the ultimate, and will be able to lock down some of these heroes. Great Yule Scepter from the Lina, dodging a lot of that damage. Still trying to get out with the Echo Slam from Admiral Bulldog. Locks down 2, couldn't get off the Fissure, and that means the Lina gets off the ultimate, but it still doesn't matter. Alliance just start running over these heroes from Abraxas, and it's really only Ascendancy who manages to get out. The Disruptor managed to get away with just this sliver of obviously. Do you agree with this split push?
Yeah.
Rather than the fighting on?
I think so. Oh, and actually, Ascendancy, he's got the Diffusal, but he doesn't have the Doppelganger up, and he's going to get picked off.
Fair kill. And this will just increase that gap between the Gyrocopter, Queen of Pain, and the rest of the cores even further. 28 minutes in, it's 10 to 20. Taking a look at that net worth chart, Alliance have dipped down rather dramatically in the last 5 minutes, almost taking a 10,000 gold lead and about 7,000 experience. Zenigata runs right into S4, does manage to get off the glimpse, but Admiral Bulldog will make sure the Disruptor stays down.
Yeah, just really good play right now overall by Bulldog. 1, 2, and 14. So
the Lotus Orb, is there... I feel like the Lotus Orb has a lot of value here against the Beastmaster specifically.
Yeah, the Lotus Orb probably isn't too bad, and they might actually catch Bulldog.
They still get the Force Staff, and the Snowball will hit him. They bring him back into the silence and should be able to finish off there. Lina, meanwhile, gets bursted down. They actually Bloodstone Suicide that one. S4 right in the middle of all these heroes. The BKB fades, making this Alliance going to be able to clean him up. At least Luffy goes down. They're going to be able to try and go for Ascendancy as well. Doppelganger up in 1 more second, but S4 there to reclaim that kill. It goes on a godlike spree. Only the Beastmaster alive then just to save the Phantom Lancer if he ever gets Orchided up. Now top lane looks like they're going to be able to find Ascendancy here. No Doppelganger away this time. Alliance quickly close in on that kill and will bounce right back to the middle lane, it looks like, to continue that push. Lina is desperately trying to get that creep wave going, though. He wants to be able to stall up Alliance as best as possible. Because the Beastmaster is halfway healed. Let's see if they can actually take this fight. Yeah, Flat Cannon down for another 10 seconds. Loda preemptively popping that BKB in order to finish off the melee racks. And will now start going for the retreat. Looks like they'll actually get away here. The Glimpse is going to be able to bring back Loda. And he will turn. Pops the ultimate, tries to deal what damage he can. Song of Siren, resetting things entirely, and Loda will actually be able to get out. Looks like all of Alliance will get away completely scot-free. Even Admiral Bulldog, yep, just ahead of the Snowball. Perhaps, yeah, Ake is going to go down here. Looks like, even with really good familiar drops, he should be going down. But still, they got the melee racks. They didn't have to give up any of their cores. Very successful push from Alliance.
Oh yeah, just chasing or trading 1 BKB timer for a set of rack accident, which is probably just a really bad team fight. Then the rest of the lanes are at least pushed in. if the game isn't over by that point. If by some reason Abraxas lose a set of racks but they're all still alive, and they don't lose 2 sets of racks at this phase, it might not even matter because of more
for this next team fight. Loda, knowing that it's 4 versus 5, is immediately going to try and pressure that tier 3 tower. He's got the Butterfly, MKB, as well as the Aegis. Shiva's now complete on S4 as well. Yule Scepter for Yule Scepter. Lotus Orb coming in handy, and Lina is going to be chased away by S4. They turn to finish off the tier 3 tower with the BKB active.
It's so hard to contest this right now, and with that tower down too, it's so difficult. Abraxas, they're gonna, it almost looks like they just kind of have to, this is what I was talking about. You just give up the racks, but all of you are still alive, but they can't just go for the bottom push. But at the same time, you just lost the racks for nothing. You have to get something out of this.
Well, that's where the Glimpse comes in, trying to stop S4, pops a BKB after the Glimpse completes, because Alliance are actually going to try and take this fight. On the right-hand side, Emerald Bulldog is being dealt with by Luffy. Meanwhile, Lina turns and tries to pop. Loda will be going down here soon, and that's just the Aegis Ascendancy trying to back away, but S4 is on the spot there, and that's it. Abraxas knowing if Abraxas are able to make a comeback here in game number 2, short break. We'll be back. But it's still a PL late game. It's still very dangerous to deal with. Speaking of Ember Spirit, it's actually going to be picked up here by Abraxas while he's the opportunity to be aggressive on you. And you're left up against that Flame Guard. You can't actually take it off in the later levels. Oh, top lane, they actually do get the first blood. Pong goes down. We missed it in true Toby 1 fashion.
Oh, in this mid lane, he doesn't actually have the Sleight of Fist available.
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, he was going to use it, but no matter what, he was dead in that scenario. Just a really good rotation by the Earthshake, which they haven't really been able to do so far.
You know what this is? This is the life of an Earthshaker against PL. Like, in the beginning, you're alright, but you just can never really go to lane with a whole lot of confidence, as he will be going down here. Maybe? No! They just barely managed to pick up the kill. Still, though, Alliance very clearly walked away with a better trade-off, especially if they can get an extra kill, but Light Strike, like... I like this double stacking that MyNuts is doing. Middle lane, Ember Spirit. Not going to be able to dodge that. Lancer is actually a significant gap as well. Of course, Ascendancy did go down. Oh, Admiral Bulldog's been picked off here, it looks like. Trying to stack up that Ancients and ends up getting caught. MyNuts missing out on the Light Strike array. Luffy doesn't actually have the mana just yet, nor the cooldown to be able to charge away, so he will be right-clicked down by S4.
That makes such a big difference, too, when you're...
And even a Tusk feels pretty weak without Walrus Punch.
Yeah, S4's at top. He's got 3 levels of Blink. Looked like he wanted to be able to do something, and the Earthshaker actually just solo kills the Silencer, which really shouldn't... You can't afford that.
S4 still has that ultimate. We'll throw it out on Ascendancy. Doesn't have the Doppelganger, so he just turns and fights as best he can.
All right, here we go.
Unfortunately, Luffy, he was charging on to a
It's do or die time.
Oh, no 17% there. Maybe they're not going to find anything unless they want to dive underneath this tower. Pone goes perhaps just a bit too far forward. Will be fissured up, and it looks like bursted down before he can get off the snowball.
MyNuts almost has the Yule Scepter on Lina at the same time. Loda just finishes taking top tower, so he's got... Yeah. You feel like you're not making anything happen on the map. Like, look how far they're diving now.
Snowball onto Admiral Bulldog. They do manage to stun him up, but Ascendancy couldn't get off the Lance in time. They're going to try and dive in deep, but this is way too deep as MyNuts has already cleaned up the Tusk. The Lance will be able to finish off Admiral Bulldog, but at what a cost. Ascendancy doesn't have the Doppelganger to be able to jump away. A double kill is a result for MyNuts.
Again, this just... You remember that was 5 minutes faster than the 16 average, but that's probably with treads.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people,
MyNuts,
treads is common.
Global Silence gets laid down. MyNuts is still going to be picked off, but Alliance have the opportunity to fight as they're fighting underneath their tier 2 tower. Here comes Loda. Echo Slam locks down 2. Luffy will be controlled. Ake actually gets back a fair amount of distance to get off a really good death ward, but Ascendancy is beginning to clear through some of these supports. The Diffusal does its work. He goes on to S4 next, who still has enough mana to be able to blink away. They're going to try and fight this one. Ascendancy and Pone are both low. Doppelganger to the side, and Loda will just clean up hero after hero. Now the Silencer comes back to try and finish off S4, but can't quite get it, and he knows now that his life is sacrificed.
That's a 5-man wipe. The anti-mage gets so much as a result of that. He came in for the tail end of that. That's a full Yasha. Has the recipe.
Just tier 1, and probably just keep on going at this rate. Take some objectives, especially with a pick off and the Silencer, making it that much easier.
Yeah, they're not even going to blow any ultimates for that. They know that it's a free kill. Especially when the Lina already has a Yules. She can pretty much kill most of the supports by herself. At top,
Hone, Orchid, and Admiral Bulldog with the Blink Dagger.
they're just not giving up anything.
Push, which is their only real way to buy time. But there's so many different pickoffs. Yule Scepter, and they can't quite get him. They're actually going to go for the Ember Spear with the Orchid about to tick down. They will finish him off. As for, well, he's actually going to be fine. That Spirit Breaker realizes this is not a fight they can win as Ascendancy goes down underneath the tower. Couldn't even finish off the Lina support.
Ember Spirits right now, who is just struggling. Like, he had such a tough laning phase because of the rotations by Admiral Bulldog.
It's about to get real tough. The Orchid, Light Strike Array. Global Silence gets laid down, but the Light Strike Array are already stunned him up. The Orchid makes sure there's no escape for the Ember Spirit, and also tips the last bit of damage necessary to finish him off. An impossible task at this point. Pone comes in from the side, but immediately Yule Scepter. Light Strike Array will catch him once again. The Orchid is there to stop the snowball. Luffy actually gets caught by the Fisher from Admiral Bulldog, and he'll go down as well. My Nuts picking up a mega kill streak as Loda finishes up the racks, and GG is called. Abraxas, they put up a good fight in Game 1 against Alliance.
Aside from that, maybe the Lina as well. The distribution that they had, though, was pretty good overall.